Exactly.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna do the big Ray Earth attack, and also Guy just happens to be in position, so it's just big Ray Earth attack, and also Guy going, alright, now it's my turn to also fuck him up.
Let me remove his entire fucking heart with one punch. I mean, it is kind of funny that is Gal Gagar's final move. Is just he rips out a villain's heart and shows it to him.
I just like, though, that this line of magic girls turns into, like, a giant combiner machine, hit him, and he's just like, I'm still alive, and then Guy's gonna turn around and go, here I come with the fucking hammer!
He's just like, oh, I still live, haha, I can still complete my plan. Wait, what's that music?
And if he still survives from that, Guy still has his turn, and also Noriko is sitting there just rubbing her hands together, getting ready for a kick. And then if they still live, then Domon's got a fucking Kamehameha wave ready.
Man, you'd think bad guys would learn, but whenever the theme music kicks in, they need to like stop being. They need to just watch out.
Right?
It's like they can't hear the music or something. It's like
well, they hear this music
so loud.
Well, no, they hear this music and they're like, "That's for me, right? That's for me, right?"
Huh? My anthem's weirdly upbeat.
Well, to be fair, in this case, he would think he's the hero, so.
No, that only happens with Trombe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To be fair, that part also just has the guy like, what the fuck does Mission 12, Mission 30 mean? So in Super Robot Wars OG2, there's the sequence where they get possibly the coolest mech of that game. Daizengar shows up, and they don't start. And unlike most other missions, it doesn't start with like the title screen of saying mission whatever Daizengar. So you have to wait until you get to the midpoint where the mech actually shows up. After you've had like a big scene with Trombe and that music blaring, and the guy's like, "What the fuck is this music?" And then like Mission 30 Daizengar shows up, and he's like, "What does Mission 30 mean?"
I know I showed this animation already, but I feel like after showing the spiral attack, have it showing also the fucking Heaven and Hell hammer together just is too good to pass up. Like, just the combination of shit hitting this motherfucker. It's just too cool.
When you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail.
Especially when you put a nail into it.
It's like, oh, there's no nail in this problem. Oh, we can fix that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were into penetration.
That's what Kyosuke does.
True, he does enjoy penetration a lot.
He enjoys penetration. No matter how thick your armor, all I have to do is penetrate.
And he gets critical hits on those enemies, and then they just explode.
Now it's time for Char to hit him with stuff.
Alright, Char's here too.
And Char's here too.
Hey guys, sorry I almost committed mass genocide for really innocuous reasons.
I mean, at least he didn't just pull on this Quattro disguise again.
That'd be silly.
Like in 30.
No.
Hey guys, this is Lieutenant Quattro here to help. Char, what are you doing?
Disguise? What disguise?
How are you still alive?
What disguise? Are you implying that Quattro Pashina is somehow Char Aznavour?
Yeah, come on. What's wrong with you, Sabo?
What a fucking ridiculous thing to say.
I mean, that's what Ryoma says.
Yeah, Ryoma's crazy.
Are you gonna argue with him?
He's crazy.
I mean, I might not argue with him because he might kill me, but...
I'm pretty sure Ryoma was like, yeah, I probably did kill Dr. Satome. I'm not entirely sure. When he was framed for murder.
He's like, you know what? That does sound a bit like me.
And he was like, maybe I did kill him. I've killed a lot of people.
It sounds like me, but I can't recall specifically.
I don't remember doing that one specifically, but...
Satome. Which one's he again? There's just so many of them. Corpses, I mean. Must have been the easiest fucking guilty verdict of that court's life. You just have this crazy man with this fucking insane smirk and like just dressed in fucking bandages. You must have gone, yeah, this guy's clearly guilty. Not even the dream team of Phoenix Wright and Matt Murdock could get him off.
I was gonna say, wasn't the whole trial rigged in the start because they wanted him in jail so the invaders couldn't get him?
Is that the plan?
I think that was the plan.
It's kind of hard to tell, Robo.
It's like if we frame him, then he'll be deep in jail and the invaders can't possess him. Because invaders possessing him would give them Getter, and that would be bad.
It's fine if they possess Hayata, I guess.
Well, he can't pilot a Getter by himself. You have to be really crazy to do that.
It's true.
So, here's the ultimate question, Dan. What ending are you going to pick?
What's up?
You're going to have one final moral choice to make in this game. What one are you going to pick?
I like money.
The Sigma grind set. Good. Kill babies, get profit. I appreciate.
It feels like the canon choice.
You know what? Speaking of that, someone did once say to me, "Hey, is Seto Kaiba just Brock if he had the Sigma male grind set?"
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, kind of. If Brock renounced women, he too would not have to care for 9 fucking brothers and sisters because his mother and father are
shit.
Yeah.
If he renounced women and embraced the dragons.
He too could be a billionaire who made his own adopted father commit suicide. I love explaining that bit part to people, where the backstory of Kaiba is, yes, then he stole his adopted father's company, so he threw himself out a fucking window.
Well, last hit on the boss. Now to watch him get drop kicked into space.
Surprised you didn't have Sagiri finish it.
I should have done that. Oh well. Oh well. I already hit the button. And there's the explosions.
He died as he lived, exploding.
It's true. Anyway, now we have the long cutscene. Of them wrapping up everybody's storylines, including storylines that didn't have actual endings in their original source material, like Nadesco.
Yeah. And then everybody lived happily ever after.
The end.
Even the people who should have died.
Like Char and Haman. Because I saved them. And also Quest, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully she can triple fall
Except for Sora, who had no life.
I feel like Quest will still die in the end. Like she'll accidentally jettison herself out of an airlock.
We can only hope.
I mean, she's stupid enough. What's this button do? What? Good job, Diama. You lost.
So that's what you get for being a wage slave.
But no, he wasn't a wage slave. He was the president.
Even presidents are wage slaves.
I don't think he was. I think he had a lot of money.
We may never know now that he's dead.
I mean, he's not dead.
And we'll never see him again.
Yeah. He might as well be dead.
Well, shit.
Yeah, now it's like, what do we do?
Well, like I said, the next game is gonna either be Ace Combat 7 or Ace Combat 0. I have to do a test recording and to see if it records fine on my computer because I have that on the PC. And it's a slightly higher end game, so I don't 100% know if it'll record smoothly. So I gotta test it and pick one of the maps that are a little bit more intensive. Since I've beaten the game, I'm trying to think what map would be the most intensive one.
Stonehenge, because it's quite a large map and there's lots of enemies.
Stonehenge, okay. Yeah, I'll test that. I'll do a test recording of myself driving that and seeing what happens. If not, we'll do Zero, which we'll then get to see not Nazi Germany nuke itself, which is always fun.
This is true. Those wacky Nazis.
Those wacky Nazis blowing themselves up.
Belkins.
Right. Belkins. Careful, Belkins. Different. Just like Xeon.
Oh, Sabo. I may have mentioned I've got a friend to play Trails of Cold Steel 1. I did inform him that he is about to meet one of DC Douglas's 2 roles in the game. And I did explain that he does play both the best and the worst character.
Yes.
And it'll be up to him to decide. So that's be fun when he gets to that. Oh. Man. As I said before, it's been, once again, kind of just a slow week in general.
Yeah.
Probably actually slower than last week.
I just saw a post in one of my other chats that's really good. Just Revenge of the Sith AU, where Anakin can't kill any younglings because they have set up hundreds of space Home Alone style booby traps around the Jedi Temple. He opens the door and a bucket full of sand unloads all its contents over his head.
Would make for a more interesting episode 3, I'll give you that.
It would. I'd watch it.
Yeah. Got you there.
Sure. Would be well, I mean, I would just like anything Star Wars that's just not shit, but I'm afraid you might be past that point. Yeah, I'm afraid even that simple request might be just simply too much.
Yeah, come on.
And what's the last good Star Wars thing to come out?
I mean, a lot of people like The Mandalorian, though I haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay. Maybe The Mandalorian, and then like Squadrons, the Starfighter game was alright, not great. I know people like whatever it's called, Fallen Order. That was it, but like it's just Dark Souls, but like with a Star Wars spirit, like
it's like Dark Souls, but it's Dark Side.
Yeah. No, your light side, because that would require like doing something mildly interesting, or at least potentially fun. You know that thing games are meant to be.
Nah,
it's kind of,
no, listen.
What is it? What is this Foon you speak of?
I don't know what fun is. All I do is play modern AAA third-person games with open worlds.
Just like a Hollywood movie, man.
I don't mind open worlds. I just as long as there's actually like, as I've said before, like there's core tenets.
I mean,
like,
yeah, but like
as long as there's things to do in them.
But yeah. most open world games suck.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it before, like, I think the most important thing for open world, it's not even like having a map where there's lots to do, it's about just how fun it is to get from point A to point B.
I think it's both.
I'm not saying there shouldn't be stuff to do, but I just mean, like, I think the most important thing to do is make sure that actually moving around the sandbox is fun, and then you fill it up with stuff to do.
One of the reasons why New Vegas it was better than the Bethesda Fallouts is if you go around the linear path that the game puts you on, you will constantly run into set pieces, gunfights, encounters. So like you're not like just like kind of twiddling your thumbs waiting to get to the point, and then maybe something might encounter you while you're walking, because the way that the NPCs are set to just roam around randomly in the Bethesda built ones. So like you kind of always have something to do while you're doing it. And then once you've done it once, you can just, pop right back over there and it's fine.
Or you can walk through the Deathclaws and the Killer Flies.
Yeah, you can do that too.
And go the other route that they don't want you to take.
Which you can do as well, which is also an interesting route, but it's a more painful route. where if it was the Bethesda, if it was one of the Bethesda helmed ones, those Deathclaws would just start roaming out of that area where they shouldn't be, and show up like in a level 1 area and try to kill you.
Yeah.
I still remember playing Fallout 3, and a Deathclaw, a Super Mutant, and a Super Mutant all jumped me outside the supermarket when I was, like, really low level.
Wow.
I assume that's before you got the thing that makes everything useless.
This is like, I was doing the fucking, survival guide quest.
Ah.
So I was really low level.
So you have to get the poison dart gun, which you can get at a reasonably low level, and then you just shoot it at the Deathclaws, and they basically can't move faster than a slow crawl.
I remember I crippled its leg. That was part of how I survived that fight.
So, yes, but this cripples both its legs in one shot.
Yeah, but I didn't have that or know that was a thing at the time.
So, yeah, and then you can either run away or just like headshot it repeatedly while it slowly crawls towards you.
Which is what I did, just, you know, involved breaking its legs with my gun instead of that, because I didn't have that or know that was a thing. Because a Deathclaw shouldn't have been there when I was level maybe 3 at most. 4 or 5, like, whatever the level was at that point in time, it was low as shit. Like, not within Deathclaw range. But, you know, that would take Bethesda to do actual game design.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of work. Actual game design is a lot of work, and Bethesda does not like to do any work. But they will tell you it just works.
Yeah, well,
It just works. Open worlds, something. I forget how that song goes, but it's
I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know the Todd Coward song.
Todd Howard. It's better than the name people keep calling him, God Howard.
Oh, is that what they call him?
Yeah, people like call him God Howard.
Oh, I call him Todd Coward.
I mean, that's the correct one.
Or occasionally I will call him Todd Howard, war criminal.
I prefer Con Man. Because I feel
War
like he's more of a
criminal.
con man. I don't think he's done any war crimes that I'm aware of.
Maybe not, but you know, when have we ever allowed something like the truth to get in the way of the good insults?
It doesn't work as good as Con Man, because he is a con man.
We just both agree he's a slime.
I mean, yes, he is slime. Degenerates.
And he's the kind of person I would like to see take a long walk off a short pier.
Same. I can't wait for
Him and
I can't wait for Starfield or whatever the fuck it's called to come out this year. The game that we know nothing about.
Do you know what? I want him and Randy Pitch to have a boxing match. Because then it's like whoever wins, we win because we watch two absolute arseholes beat the shit out of each other.
You know, I don't know who would win because Randy definitely is probably in worse shape. But I mean,
Randy fights dirty though.
But Randy fights dirty, and he does have the weight advantage.
Like Randy will go for the eyes, the balls, like everything.
I mean, yeah.
Todd, as his name implies, will be like too busy like being a chicken shit. He will like try and like time him out.
Or, so like the Mayweather way.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm just not. If I don't, no, it would be the fucking Ice Climbers in Melee, Ice Climbers Jigglypuff Melee matchup. Or if I don't approach him and he doesn't approach me, no one could win. And then yeah, Randy will just like punch him with the balls or something. Oh, when you said below the belt, I thought you were encouraging us. I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'll fix that in a patch. Oh, I'm sorry. When you said no biting, I thought you said some biting. Sorry.
Yeah, but Todd Howard is a good liar, so maybe, well, to idiots. And Randy is an idiot, so he might be able to trick him.
Yeah, but Randy, I don't know. Randy's that extra level of grease, so I think even if Todd Coward did throw a weak baby punch, it would just slide off the grease.
Ah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I think basically it comes down to if Randy catches him, it's over.
Yeah.
The only problem is, does Todd Howard have more stamina than Randy to keep running around to avoid him?
No, because Randy will take a break, jack one off to that port he keeps on his work flash drive, and then get back to it.
And then he'll just come back like Popeye, where he'll be increased speed.
Yeah, and then we'll just have to wonder.
Comeback.
And then we'll just be left to wonder. That wasn't child porn, was it, Randy?
That's what you call a real comeback.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In this, maybe that should be our new show to go alongside Dead or Disgraced. Arsehole video game devs fight it out to the batter to the death.
Time for a new death bat. Wait, hold on.
No, it's more. I'm thinking more like celebrity deathmatch, but you know,
Right.
with people who aren't even celebrities.
That reminds me. Did they even still make Death Battle?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Because people still get pissed about, you know, useless shit.
I don't even remember what last one I, remember.
Didn't Sabo make us watch the Prime versus Gundam one or something?
I know we watched that one. That was a while ago.
Yeah, that's one. That's the only one I watched.
I don't remember the last one that I, remember being made, because I know there was a couple that were done after that I was aware of. I don't remember any. I don't even know what they've been doing.
Was Death Battle owned by Rooster Teeth?
Yes.
That probably
Yes, it
explains
is.
it then. Probably too busy.
Yeah,
Oh
well,
wait,
that-
I remember the one where they
that-
redid the Mario and Sonic one where they had Mario win this time. I remember they did that.
Although that didn't stop them from having Mitsuru defeat Weiss. I guess because Weiss isn't the most popular character.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they learned their lesson after the whole Yang Tifa thing.
Could have been. Although if they did a rematch, like Tifa would probably win now because Yang isn't that popular anymore.
There was one they
And I-
did.
And Tifa's a fucking international celebrity porn star these
Yes.
days.
Yes, that's true.
There was another one I remember that was not too long
Tifa
ago.
has the, but Tifa has the power of the entire Italian Senate on her side.
It's true. There was. I try to remember which one it was. There was one recently where they did actively nerf one of the characters again, to make another one win, and I don't remember which one it was. It probably wasn't that recent because it was probably like months and months ago now. But I don't remember which one. Because like randomly Death Battle came into my thoughts the other day where I was just thinking about like, I don't know if they're even still around or if they do anything, and then I was like, what was the last one I remember? And then I couldn't remember.
Well, that goes to show you then.
And I only remembered it because I remembered that Rooster Teeth owned it, because I was like, what else does Rooster Teeth actually do anymore? And then I remember Death Battle was something that they owned.
Yes, but what does Rooster Teeth do at the moment?
Rooster Teeth doesn't do much lately, except have podcasts and like charge people for everything. Oh, so it turns out there's going to be no real way to watch Ruby free anymore. Like the only way to see it is either on their site, which you have to pay for now. So you can tell they're getting desperate. Unless of course you pirate it, which is what I'm going to do because screw them.
Yeah.
Piracy is a crime, but you know, I'm not going to tell on you. When is National Talk Like a Pirate Day?
I think it's September.
Reminds me of when I used to use the Vast Virus Protection. They once had a pirate voiceover thing for it, and I had that on it for a while. I don't use Avast anymore.
Does anybody use Avast anymore?
Good question. I don't know.
I think the answer is no.
Probably someone.
Yeah, someone who's not updated their computer in like 10 years.
God, I forgot because of Ray Earth and also the Aura Battler stuff. There's just so many fucking fairies in this game.
Yep. Imagine if Elgine was in too.
No, we already have the Elgine fairy.
No, but we need to have her twin sister.
Or identical. Mysterious identical twin.
It's just her.
Tanya has a...
Imagine if Mr. Crocker was in the game, though.
Denise!
Oh, that guy. Right.
Yes.
I was confused for a second. I was like, I don't recognize that name.
From Fairly Odd Parents.
Right. The one who said the thing that...
fairies!
Right, the one who said the thing that got redubbed.
Huh?
So I don't really get the full context, but there's like... Isn't there like the Chin-themed superhero or something?
Oh, yeah.
And then he has like an evil clone who's who's like Negachin or something.
Yes.
And like the original line reading, I don't even think it was that bad, but like...
He says it really fast.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's saying,
A different word.
It sounds like he's saying, checks the scoreboard. People who annoy you.
That's a... I was thinking about that joke the other day, too.
I know it, but I don't think I should say it.
Yeah. Again, I miss when South Park was funny.
I just like the smash cut, like the sort of smash cut to like the cameraman and the people behind the scenes all black, just like...
Yeah.
What?
It's really good. God, South Park used to be funny. Fuck.
Maybe it was less that South Park changed, and maybe the world changed, you know? Maybe once the world became so ridiculous that not even South Park could parody it, they had nothing else to do.
Nah, their jokes don't really have teeth anymore.
That's what I'm saying, like...
No, I just mean in general. Like,
even when
I was like watching like old clips, like they just, it's kind of like when you watch Simpsons, like modern Simpsons versus like old, where like modern Simpsons has no teeth.
That's because Modern Simpsons 2 is like, hey, insert celebrity here. What are you doing here? Well, I got this cameo, you see. Oh, that's neat, and then that's the scene.
A lot of South Park is just waffling. Modern South Park, I mean.
Fair.
By the way, I haven't gotten to the important moral choice yet. I mean, I already said what I'm gonna do, but right now it's just Hikaru saying bye to her two boyfriends.
Yeah, well, it's not perfect. It's not some tragic love bullshit.
Fucking clap.
Give him the clamp.
Gee, Hikaru, why do you get two boyfriends?
Because one of them was supposed to have died. That's why.
And then they just said, fuck it, two boyfriends.
Wait, which one dies?
No,
Eagle was supposed to die.
Yeah, Eagle dies in the show, but they didn't do that, obviously.
Rip Eagle.
Because, like, in the show, he was, like, deathly sick.
Well.
Because of
Sounds
course
like
he
it.
is, because it's so tragic.
But then it's fine, she gets a different boyfriend who she also can't be with, I guess. Oh no, man. I guess I just don't get it, but maybe you had to be there.
I mean, we are playing the game where Purus are alive.
Or maybe I'm just a dried out husk of a human being who can't really feel emotion or connect to people, so I just kind of pretend to have those sort of things, you know?
Probably that one, actually.
Yeah, probably.
Nah, because I didn't feel anything either.
Well, that's maybe because you're dried out.
Yeah.
We know for a fact I'm not, because I got so emotionally invested in Trails that I was angry at how it how it was resolved, because I was like, it didn't avenge my emotional pain I felt for the last year. So no, I am not a dried out emotionless husk.
The only emotion I can feel is hate!
Well, specifically for Ned.
I mean, there's other people, but Ned's up there. Fucking
I just
Ned.
imagine it's like you become like a villain in like a Spider-Man book, and you're like, I have no quarrel with you, Spider-Man. I just want Ned.
Wait, depends on the Spider-Man, because if it's Tom Holland Spider-Man, then I definitely have quarrels with him.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's between Tom Holland, Spider-Man, or Ned, who would you go after? He has to think about it.
On the one hand, Ned is really annoying, but on the other hand, Tom Holland Spider-Man does does like have more screen time and does even more things that I fucking hate. But Ned's really annoying.
You can only kill one, trained man.
Can I kill one of them and like forever cripple the other?
No.
Is that no? Can I emotionally destroy one of them?
No.
Oh.
One dies and one lives.
Jokes on you. They have no emotions.
Can I only kill one of them, but can I kill other people who are tangentially related to the other one,
No.
so that they can spend the rest of their life suffering?
No.
Someone said to be fair, to make Spider-Man emotionally suffer, you could probably just kill a random person on the street and you feel bad about it.
Yeah. Kick a dog in front
To be
of him.
honest, I was literally thinking about this exact topic the other day, because me and a friend were talking about the whole idea of the ideal Spider-Man, and like why Marvel has been determined to destroy the relationship with MJ, despite Mary Jane being like as synonymous with Spider-Man as Lois Lane is with Superman. Like, even with Gwen Stacy being more commonplace, you say to like 99% of people, oh, who's Spider-Man's girlfriend? And I mean, they say Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And I did wonder, me and a friend were kind of talking about it, having these long-winded discussions about comic books, you know, kind of like what we do, but I wasn't just consumed by all-encompassing hatred. So, you know, there was actual sensible conversation and not fucking Ned!
So anyway, what's the conclusion you came to as to why they want to get rid of MJ?
Well, I mean, it's just the usual, yeah, everyone has, like, there's the Marvel idealized version of Spider-Man, which is someone who is never allowed to be happy, someone who is single, someone who can be slotted, who can also be slotted in. And it kind of made me realize that the problem with that is that that kind of version of Spider-Man has just flat out never existed. You know, the one that people keep trying to get back to, he just never existed, because what they're thinking of is an amalgamation of fucking decades of character growth and evolution. Like I said before, killing Norman Osborn was a huge deal, and he stayed dead for like so long, and that's what really helped sell Spider-Man. Is that unlike a lot of other heroes, like even in Marvel, because it's not just that Marvel has characters who are like damaged or have issues, and that makes them more relatable. No, what makes Spider-Man relatable is that he had to deal with problems that most other people can sympathize with. But also, like, those problems felt like they had actual consequences and payoffs. And, you know, you saw him literally grow up. Like, he's only in high school for, like, 20 issues or whatever. And then you're following like, someone who goes from high school to college to, you know, growing up from there. And it's, you know, it really sells that character, sells that world, sells that entire mythos to people, seeing those kind of, like, that evolution being so, you know, noticeable and trackable. And to then just kind of, you know, throw it all away for the sake of trying to get back to something that just doesn't exist, just is disingenuous. And it's like, it's not even as if you can't just have a happy Peter Parker who still has fucking troubles, because the best thing you can do is just shift the fucking goalpost about what is troubling Pete. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, sure, a lot of your readers are kids, but I think kids can relate to, and can even relate to the fact of seeing parents and older brothers and sisters have these kind of issues.
And it's the same thing with, like, honestly, with, like, that thing of shifting the goalposts when people, like, when writers get really antsy about the idea of having two characters be in a relationship. And, like, immediately how they want to just get rid of it because for some reason they can't figure out what to do when they're in a relationship.
The problem is that for some insane reason, they have this attitude that if a superhero becomes a parent, that's it. No one will ever have any interest in them. It's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like if you had Peter Parker having to deal with the whole being a father while also a superhero, and then also the general other stupid shit of his life, that could lead to some really compelling stuff. Instead, we had to do the whole aborting the baby, but not aborting the baby because nobody wanted to be the one to kill Spider-Man's kid. Which is what they all said, like the Marvel people, is that nobody wanted to be the person to do it. You just think, well, if nobody wants that job, maybe you shouldn't do it. Maybe you should actually, I don't know, continue doing what Spider-Man had been doing, which is rolling with the punches of the stories.
And the thing is, like, honestly, when you say that, what's interesting too is, like, so you have him juggling that, then you could even with the kid have the kid eventually getting older, the kid maybe learning it, maybe the kid starts developing powers. And then you could have the whole thing of, like, does the kid want to start doing this similar shit? Does Peter want to try and keep this kid from doing that? You can have this whole thing with it. There's a lot of potential right there.
And then we could have had the only good, only good supplementary Spider-Person, which is Mayday. The fucking tragedy that she's not allowed to exist.
Like, there's a lot of potential there, like... But for some reason, these writers are too incompetent.
It's not a matter of incompetence, like I said. They're trying to fall back on this idealized version of Spider-Man to fit this, like, what I believe is basically just like an industry memo, internal memo of, no, this is what we want Spider-Man to be forever and ever. And it's like, the problem is he's not a static character in that sense. He's always like had changes and growths. And,
he wasn't supposed to be, and then they made him that.
Until the Clone Saga. Like, things that happened in the comics of Spider-Man generally had impact and meaning, and then, bringing back Norman changed that, and then it's just been this slow decline of pulling the rug out from under people and just kind of fucking around with what people like. Because, you don't always have to give an audience everything that they want. But I don't know, you used to need to treat them with respect, and Spider-Man selling his marriage to the devil is not treating the audience with respect, Yeah. It's not a difficult concept to grasp, but Marvel is determined to do it. And like I said, other heroes, it's somewhat more fine because very few other, like, Marvel or DC superheroes quite have an actually sort of traceable storyline like Spider-Man does. Like, I have... Me and another friend have, Spider-Man, sort of that sort of early era Spider-Man to a manga because it is very kind of similarly sort of structured in that it is like an ongoing story.
Yeah.
More than like any other character. I find that kind of interesting how we divorced ourselves from that so much when I genuinely think it was having things like that is what made people fall in love with Spider-Man as much as they did, beyond just the whole, hey, he's a wisecracking teenager with attitude.
He wasn't even a teenager for that long, like a year and
like I
some
said.
change.
Well, no, he was a teenager for a while.
Well, you said 20 issues, right?
No, 20 issues is when he's done with high school, but bearing in mind he's still like 18 when he...
Well, yeah,
high school.
Yeah, but he's not like a teen, not like a quote-unquote teen hero at that point anymore, quote-unquote.
Yeah. But my main point is that we've so far divorced from those elements and that, I don't know how you fix it at this point. I don't think you can fix it. I think One More Day. I think things like One More Day and Clone Saga and all the other shit they keep piling out, and like these terrible adaptations they keep doing, not just talking about movies. Like, at least the PS4 game got like the basic gist of what the character should be like.
Yeah, the only thing it really didn't get was MJ specifically.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like you've become so divorced from the initial concept of the idea and the ideologies behind the character that I don't legitimately know if you even can fix it, short of like a reboot, like, Ultimate. But I don't know. The biggest issue with Ultimate is kind of also the biggest issue with Spider-Man, is that he's a character who doesn't really belong in the wider Marvel universe.
I mean, I feel that the X-Men don't really belong in the wider Marvel universe.
That's fair.
I've always felt that way. Like, honestly, the only, like...
When I say he doesn't belong, what I mean is that he's a character. What I mean is that he is the kind of character that more or less be on his own, except for like those sort of occasional like team ups with like one or two people. Like Spider-Man should not be on a team. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Spider-Man should not be leading a team. Like these are the kind of things where it's just not how his character is best benefited by and what suits it. Oh no, it's just this whole kind of thing of, well, Spider-Man is popular, so we have to do these things, regardless of if it really makes sense or fits with the character, because, well, that's just how we do things now. It's not a matter of stories or integrity or things like that. It's a matter of basically just getting, like, those stupid news articles of, oh my god, they're killing Spider-Man, replacing him with Dr. Octopus. And it's like, fuck off.
Thanks, Dan Slott. No, I'm sorry. Award-winning comic book writer Dan Slott.
That's the thing is that I'm all for people doing like these interpretation of things like that, but what I sort of object to more of Superior Spider-Man was always the attitude of, no, this is for real, you guys. It's not just a gimmick, and then it was just a gimmick, and it's like,
you know what's
Dan
funny?
Slott's...
I feel like he didn't think it was a gimmick.
And then he has the audacity to sit there and act as if, oh, I had to lie to children in comics.
Yeah, I wonder if he was lying, or I wonder if he really thought that, like, if he did a good job, he could
I think he
just
thought it.
Dr.
I think he
Spider-Man
genuinely
forever.
thought it. Considering how mad he got at me when I theorized that he wanted to go on longer, and then Marvel told him, okay, time's up, it's time for Peter to become Spider-Man again. Considering how vitriolic he reacted to me just theorizing that, when I didn't add him, he just saw that and got so mad he had to yell at me and then block me. It leads me to believe that he was convinced it was gonna stick.
I can believe that he probably expected it to have a lot more impact, and I imagine he was probably the only one because, like I said, there was, when that was coming out, there was a new movie coming out with, surprise, Peter Parker as Spider-Man, and much like Nazi Captain America, they're hardly going to let such an easy cross promotion thing.
It's like how Bucky Cap ended the instant Steve Evans Captain America became a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, kids will, maybe these movies actually do want to get kids into comic books. I think it's kind of unlikely because I think they've fucked comic books so hard that it's just so difficult to grow a new reader base now.
Yeah.
And you can't rely on the existing one because, well, yeah, sure, you'll get like the diehards who will buy books no matter what.
But like over time, you'll get people like me who get so discouraged with comics that I just fall off completely. Because like I said, I think I said in recording like not too long ago, I was like, yeah, I've kind of fallen off mainly because, yeah, there are some great storylines that pop up. But for every one good storyline, the good storylines are never the ones that are allowed to stick. The only ones that are ever allowed to seem to stick are the shitty ones.
Because you know why that is, right? It's because to bring it back to a previous conversation point, it's the big crossover events. You know, everything has to conform to what happens there, so you can't have anything meaningful actually happen in these sort of smaller stories. Or if you do,
but not even counting those. I just mean like even in their own, like. The ones that they will focus on and the ones that they'll keep doing shit with and will allow to stick on the character are the shit plot lines like your House of M's and shit. Because House of M's was just a X storyline.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? One More Day was partially in had a hand in Civil War, but was its own things too.
Well, One More Day is after the events of Civil War,
yeah.
But it's obviously heavily connected to / influenced by what happened. But it is technically its own thing that's just connected by vague continuity.
But those storylines they get to stick where like they will like where usually the storylines also will retcon like stuff that's done that's actually good, and then they just keep the shit. They just look at the shit and they keep it. Or at best, if we're lucky, they might give it like a small cheap patch, like what happened with Cassandra Cain, when they decided to make her evil randomly and are writing threats in Arabic.
Yeah, well.
So that's kind of
But-
what made me like outside of like getting like a thing here and there that's like a contained like story thingy. Usually I just don't bother with comics anymore, and even then it's very rare what I'll buy or look at.
And as I said, they're losing out on so many of like the hardcores who would like buy comics every month or whatever.
Yeah, I used to
And
be.
It's so difficult now to get new people in because, well, I mean, you look and see Spider-Man number 600 or 700 or 900 or whatever we're up to, and people are like, "Damn, I got to read 900 of these things."
Like I could help someone get into it because I know how to get back into it because I fell off and then came back, and then years later I fell off completely. More recently, but I could help people, but the thing is, I genuinely don't like what I see, so why the fuck would I sit there and explain to someone how to get in when I'm just going to tell them how I feel about it, and it's not going to be encouraging.
I mean, it's kind of interesting to consider, like, and then even if you're talking like DC, and people always say the old classic of, oh, Batman is defined by his rogues galleries, and then it's like, if you actually read Batman comic books, his rogues gallery who aren't the Joker do fuck all.
Because they just constantly just do Joker storylines.
Yeah, or even then, it's that they make up, new villains who don't stick around because why would you use the pre-existing stuff that people like when you can just use
Professor Pig.
Like, everyone's favorite, Professor Pig. No, guys, he's a really cool and interesting villain. It's like, yeah, I remember him from that game Manhunt in 2002 or whatever
I remember
it was.
one of my friends was trying to convince me that no, Professor Pig's actually cool, and I'm like, no, he's not.
He's literally a rip-off of Manhunt, of that villain from Manhunt.
I mean, yeah. Actually, that reminds me. I was having a conversation about Jokers where I was talking about like how I have the Melvin scale, and I'm like Jared Leto is behind him, and I said in between Jared Leto and Melvin might be the Jamaican Joker from the Batman, and then I got told no, that Joker's actually really good, and I was like, and I just all I said in response was no, and I wouldn't say anything else.
I have to like rewatch the Batman to be able to really like say about that because I've not seen it since it was airing,
Right.
which is a surprisingly long time ago now.
Yeah, because we were like early teens, I think, when that was airing. Because that was airing the same time the Justice League was going on.
Yeah, that was why they that was why they put a block on basically using any characters associated with Batman who were Batman
Yeah.
because of the Batman.
All right. That is the end of credits. So we are done. Time to leave is done.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I'll see you for Ace Combat. It'll be a much shorter video. I'm gonna have to split this one too, actually, because it's like 1 hour and 51. Fuck.
Yeah. More content. Getting on that content grind, yo.
Woo! Time to leave for the last time.
It's a controversial joke here.
Say something funny.
Oh no, Ezra Miller got him.
Shit.
Dead.